Okay, hello, welcome to the weather update for April 1st, 2020. Yes, we have a lot to cover in this weather update because we also talk about I just realized as I started, I'm like, oh yeah, I gotta look at the climate reports too for March. Okay, well, we did actually break out into some sunshine today. Finally, blue sky too. Not completely clear, but best it's been in about 3 days or so. So definitely got out there and enjoyed it. Don't let anyone stop you from doing that. So let's take a look at we'll start with the climatology. Let's do that. We will be starting with the climatology. I don't know if the Weather Service put out a link to their report on their Twitter. Probably not. No, they did not. So let's go to the climate data right now, and we're going to start off with that. First thing I'll start off with is the temperatures across the area. Pretty cool day today. 53 at Central Park, at Farmingdale. 53. Let's see what it got up to today. 50. Yeah, it actually did hit 56 at Farmingdale. With that north wind, it was gusting at times. Felt cooler than that. But anyway, let's go and look at the climate, local past weather here. So we will first start off with the monthly weather summary at Central Park, and then we'll do Central Park, and we're gonna look at Islip. So let's see. So monthly weather summary for March. The highest temperature was 77. The lowest in Central Park was 77. Was hit on the 20th of March, and the coldest 25 was hit on the 1st of March. So, no surprise, well above normal. Average maximum temperature at Central Park was 55 degrees. The normal value is 49.7, so about 5 degrees above normal. And minimum, 40.9 was the average minimum, and 35.2 is where we're supposed to be. And the mean, obviously 48, 42.5. So, chalk it up to about, let's see, if we look at the mean, probably about 5.5 degrees above normal at Central Park. There's your anomaly, 5.4, 5.7, 5.5. So precipitation, we were a little below normal in the precipitation department. Observed value of 3.78. Normal supposed to be 4.36. So sure enough, no surprise, above normal at Central Park. Let's go look at Islip now. So Islip, we're just going to go over the means here. So 53 was the average maximum, normal 47.3. So again, you're about 5, actually that's 6 degrees, almost 6 degrees above normal. Average minimum 36.5. The normal is supposed to be 31.3, so 5.2 degrees above normal with that. The mean 44.8, 39.3 is the normal, so 5.5 degrees above normal again. So 5.5 degrees above normal. Precipitation pretty much in line with the norms, but a very warm March. No surprise at all whatsoever about that. So 5.5, that's not just a few degrees. That's significant. Anyway, speaking of warming, let's take a look at our little storm here that has passed off to the south here. So you see, look at this. Look at the circulation right there. Again, I know it's an extratropical storm, but these patterns we're seeing in the circulation have tropical characteristics to them. So let me make this a little larger so you can see that. It's a little larger so you can see this better. So you start right here. Look right here. Look at that. So you can see the clear air that came in over us today. We had some clearing that developed right here, but there are more clouds over here, and there's a question mark as to what's going to happen for tomorrow. That's still kind of a question mark, which is why we have to look at all the models and see exactly what's going to happen for tomorrow. So close this down. We'll take a look at the high resolution satellite as well as the storm, and you'll see here this is an extratropical storm, but if you look at the center of it, it's got like an intense like eye wall like feature. Very like I said, very unusual to see this. But when you have warm water temperatures here off the East Coast, that's what's going to happen. And we're not even in hurricane season yet, and that's what's scary about it. That is what's scary about it. We'll just see if we can get another image here. Yeah, there's another image of it. So Again, this is a pretty intense storm here. Um, it definitely looks less like a tropical system than the last one did, because you can notice that the dry air coming in over here. But still, this feature in the center with an eye and just like surrounded by like what looks like an eye wall. Something going on there. There's something going on there. I don't care what anyone says. So let's go to the windy.com model. So you can actually take a look at the winds here. And I bet you this is whipping up the seas too. I'm going to take a look at some marine observations too. Here is what it looks like on windy.com, and you can see here this is sustained winds. We're not seeing anything too bad, just slightly breezy conditions. But if you go way offshore, out in the ocean, sustained winds, especially on the back side of this, 52 miles an hour. This is a pretty substantial storm. If a ship were to get caught in it, it would not be good. And then if we go to the gusts, look at this thing. So if we go to the gusts, take a look at these gusts over hurricane force, 74 miles an hour, 80 miles an hour. That's just incredible. That is just incredible right there. Now, none of that's going to affect us, but you'll see as we get into the forecast. So let me look at some marine observations here. And we'll see if this is stirring up the seas at all. Let's get the summary here. And we'll see if this is actually stirring up the seas. Just waiting for this to load here. So, let's see. Seas. Let's see. Wave heights. 6 foot, nothing really too bad. Just 6 and 7 footers. So nothing really too bad I'm seeing. As far as the storm's far enough away that we're not seeing those effects. But you'll see as we go into the models how things might change. So let's do that right now. Let's go into the models. Just looking at the surface on this one. All right. So here's your storm right here. Well, maybe we should look at the upper air to. No, I just want to keep it focused on the surface for now. Well, we have to look at the upper air to see why this is happening. So I guess I do have to go to the upper air. So we've got to go to the North America view and pull this out a little bit so you can see what's happening. But you can kind of see even at the surface what's going on and how this block here in Greenland, this high over here, is going to affect this storm. And you have another storm over here too. So there's no room for the storm to move out east quickly. And that's going to be the issue. So if we go to the 500 now. If we go here, you'll see what I mean. So you see all this higher than normal pressure over Canada. This is a pattern that leads to below normal temperatures in the east and cool air, which is what we're seeing right now. And you can see that storm is just going to kind of sit there. It's the GFS. It's going to try to move east tomorrow, and then as we go in tomorrow night, Friday, it's going to back up just a little bit, kind of just sit and spin in this location, and that's into Friday, and then it finally starts to pull out. If we look at the euro, you will see similar type of consensus here. So here's the euro, and it was interesting that the Canadian actually and the euro was it the Canadian? It was the Canadian and the euro that had this idea. And it took a while for the GFS to catch on that this block here was going to actually trap this low here and kind of force it to just sit there, and then it finally moves away. And then we get it next week, you'll still start to see a trough in the east here, and then another one coming. And look at that. Really deep storm on the euro around Friday. That looks like a really intense storm. Let's see if that's on the GFS at all. And no, GFS looks completely different, of course. But there is some ridging that tries to develop in the east. But there are some troughs swing through. And then as we go into the really long range, this is the 18Z, by the way. Maybe some ridging tries to develop. But overall, we're not going to see the kind of warm anomalies in April that we saw in March. Now, wouldn't it be funny if April actually wound up being cooler than March? Oh, you just never know. Let's go look at the CONUS view, and let's take a look at the surface here, so you can see what's going to happen with the storm. In fact, let's change this a little bit here, eastern U.S., because we need to go look out a little further into the ocean to show you this storm here. So as we go tomorrow, you see the storm. It's trying to move east. Here it is, Thursday. It's trying to move east. But then as you get into Thursday, it kind of just gets stuck right there. I think the extent of this rain is pretty overdone at this point. I'm going to look at the radar in a moment. But this is a very intense low, and it's just going to be sitting south of Nova Scotia. And it's going to be sitting at Thursday, and then it almost does a loop-the-loop, backs up a little bit. Actually, it moves back toward us. This is the same kind of weird pattern that brought us Sandy, by the way. Well, not quite, but it's the same idea that you're having a storm move in from the ocean from east to west. So it's going to move toward us on Friday, and maybe we get a little light rain. And this is what ruins our clear weather. And then it moves to the south, and look at it moves due south and east because the ridge here is so strong. It's actually going to push the storm south. It's according to the GFS, and then east. That is so weird. That is so weird. I gotta say, that is weird. But that's what it looks like on here. And then, so we might see a little rain Friday. We may not. And then weekend should be dry. And then the next chance for precipitation maybe Sunday night, Monday, Tuesday, and then next week looks like it could be kind of crappy again. Low going to the north there in the system, and then maybe as we get to a Friday. That's that really strong low. You can see the GFS has it look a little different than the Euro, and it has that high, and then another system for rain on Saturday. Not completely unsettled, but not the driest pattern either, which of course stinks. But anyway, the winds with this storm are incredible. So this is going to give me the wind. So I'll show you the GFS wind field on this so you can get an idea of the winds with this. So you can see here is this intense storm. There it is, moving away, but then it gets stuck south of Nova Scotia. It kind of sits, and then it backs up at us on Friday. And those strong winds come close to us. Parts of the Cape could see sustained winds in the 30 to 40 mile an hour range, perhaps, with gusts even higher than that, and then it moves away. Really strange. Really strange. So actually, I do want to look at the radar. So we will look at the radar. I don't think there's any. I will look at the radar. Hold on. Let's go ahead and look at that. I don't think there's anything on the radar over here, but we'll just look at New England because it seems like the GFS is kind of overdone. Yeah, you could see some showers trying to get into the Cape right now. So you see there are some showers that are approaching the Cape Cod right now. But as far as us, we remain dry. Okay, so let's go and look at the, I guess we'll go look at the NAM. Let's go look at the NAM, 12 kilometer, and our precipitation chances, and see how far this rain gets at us. So here's your low again on the NAM. There it is. It just kind of just sits. And look at that. You can see it just east of our area there. So tomorrow we're dry, but then it backs up, and a little bit of spoke of energy comes in Thursday night, and we may see some chances of rain. It looks like mainly over Suffolk County that there would be a chance of rain, and there's your low just sitting there and then moving southeast. That is the strangest thing I've ever seen. That is really, really strange. You know, it never ceases to amaze me what we're seeing in the atmosphere these days. Let's go look at the winds here on the NAM. So this model, like I said, has a higher resolution, so you can get a better idea of the wind. And you can see here the reds. That's sustained winds around 40. And some of those come into the Cape. It looks like those highest winds stay away from Long Island. But the winds could pick up here starting late tomorrow night into Friday morning. We could have some strong winds. We'll have to look at the windy.com model. But yeah, unfortunately, the storm was originally not supposed to do this, and we were supposed to have sunny day tomorrow. That may not happen. So let's go look at the, I guess we'll go to the skies, I guess. That'll be the next thing we'll look at here. Go to the 3 kilometer. We'll start with the 3 kilometer NAM. These are all the 18Z runs, so you can see what's going on. You see this is today. You see that nice opening we had today. We've got some sunshine. Now for tomorrow, it depends on where you are on Long Island. The further east you are, there'd be more clouds probably, but further west, less clouds. And of course, look at that. It's completely clear over you-know-where, New Jersey. And then maybe some clouds pop up a little later on. This is the NAM. It's obviously throwing clouds back at us already at 18, 19Z on Thursday. And then we're just kind of stuck in the clouds with this low. And maybe we get out of it on Saturday. Maybe. I can look at some of the other models as far as sky cover goes. RGM, we can look at that. All right, so again, you see that it just kind of sits. Now RGM seems to see this is where we get some disagreement. So the NAM brings it further west. RGM doesn't. Has Long Island mostly clear, except maybe the extreme east end of Long Island. But still, you're likely to see less clouds in New Jersey, and Long Island might see more clouds, which is absolutely not what I want to hear. Because now I may have to chase the sun into New Jersey. Let's look at the Canadian. I mean, if it's a nice day there, I'm going there, and I don't care what Ocean County says, I'm going there. You see that, yeah, it has some clouds. This is the Canadian again. It has some clouds over Long Island, and then moves them over New Jersey later on. But it has New Jersey being fairly clear again. So we're gonna have to wait and see what happens with this. I have no idea. This is a very unusual situation to have clouds move in from the east and move west. Usually it's the other way around. That's very, very unusual, but honestly doesn't surprise me given the circumstances. So let's go back to GFS here, and we'll go ahead and look at the temperatures, see what our temperatures do. And I have to look at the windy.com and the Euro model too as well. So tomorrow we're going to have temperatures. It's going to be like today, temperatures in the mid-50s. With that breeze, it'll feel cool. Friday, temperatures probably maybe a little cool, depending on where you are. Probably a little warmer further west, where there might be a little sun, but cooler, probably like 40s on the east end. And then as we go into Saturday, we try to recover, but we're still going to be probably below normal temperatures in the low 50s. And then we try to see maybe a little warmth come in here on Sunday. We can look at next Monday, and then we start seeing some of the warmth come in. Next week, we start seeing this ridge trying to build, and you'll see you got this warmth that's going to try to come in for Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. And then it gets beat back by the end of the week a little bit. And then next Saturday it has it pretty cold with that deep low. But it's disappointing. I wanted a clear day tomorrow, and we would have had one if it wasn't for the storm backing up. Anyway, let's go and look at the winds forecast for tomorrow, and I'll keep it on the wind gusts. Let me pull this out a little bit so you can see the storm here. So it's 7 p.m. This is the windy.com model, Euro, looking at wind gusts. Let's move this over to 8 a.m. So here's the storm, 8 a.m. And you can see we're seeing some wind gusts in our area, particularly over the east end of Long Island, up to 32 miles an hour. Nothing terrible, but if you're on the Cape, your wind gusts are going to be closer to 50. Here's the storm here. It's moved up near Nova Scotia, and it's going to sit there. So this is 9 a.m., and here's 1 p.m. And it really doesn't move very much. Just a little bit north, and you can see in the core, in these areas here, you're still having wind gusts. These are wind gusts here, 51. Fortunately, we're not seeing the hurricane force wind gusts. It will weaken as it moves away from the warmer water that it was over here. So 43 mile an hour gusts on the Cape. Looks like on the east side of the center, though, there could be gusts like 65. Nova Scotia could have some pretty strong wind gusts as well. As far as Long Island, now this is Thursday, 2 p.m. We could have wind gusts 37 miles an hour. New Jersey, maybe 41 miles an hour with that northwest wind. 7 p.m. We're still seeing 34 mile an hour gusts on Long Island, close to 40. So it's going to be a little on the windy side if you're outside. And if you go into the evening, I think that's when when this thing backs up a little bit, we're going to get a little closer to the wind machine. So this is 1 a.m. Friday, and you'll see the Cape is gusting up to 51. Long Island, probably 34 miles an hour. And then we'll move into 1 p.m. on Friday. And look at this, gets even closer. So the Euro actually, like I said, backs this thing almost back at us. The Cape is dealing with a real nor'easter, 50 mile an hour wind gusts, maybe even close to that on the east end of Long Island. This is Friday afternoon. Friday is not going to be a very nice day. 36 mile an hour gusts in Nassau. And then 6 p.m., it's still sitting here. It's 6 p.m. Friday, and it's still sitting here. Let's move into midnight, and it's still sitting here. it's going to get pushed to the south is what's going to happen. So again, it's crazy. We're going to have, like I said, Friday is probably going to be another day that you might have to stay in. 1 p.m. Because if you can't go outside, then you can't go out. You can see, look at this storm. It's still sitting here. Saturday. This is Saturday, 1 p.m. It's still sitting here. 8 p.m. Saturday. It's still sitting here. And finally, it starts moving out by Sunday. So it's just ridiculous. This is part of what you call the blocking pattern. This is what it does. Also, it's kind of unusual because of where the storm is actually sitting and how it's actually just being trapped there in that spot, which is really unusual to see. So let's go look at the cloud cover situation. So here we are, Thursday, 9 a.m. And you can see western part of Long Island is sunny, New Jersey sunny. Let's go to noon. And now this model is a lot worse with the clouds. It rolls the clouds in noon, and then we're stuck in the clouds for a long time. So today may have been the only sunshine we're going to get because we may be back in the clouds again tomorrow. And then we're stuck in the clouds. Here is Thursday. And you notice that it may try to clear out again, but then it rolls back in on us on Friday. And this is just so weird and so abnormal. It doesn't really bring much rain in, but it definitely has the clouds. You can go to rain thunder chances, see. It has some light rain over us on Friday. Friday is going to be the day that's just not going to be very pleasant, unfortunately. It's not going to be very pleasant. And then Saturday, we're done with the rain, but we're probably still dealing with tons of clouds. Yep, tons of clouds Saturday. Sunday, probably. Still stuck in the clouds, probably. Sunday, still stuck in the clouds. What about Monday? We might get out of it Monday. Boy, what can I tell you? I'm disgusted. All right, let's go look at that storm for next Friday because it had a big storm over us. I want to look at that. Where's that storm that I had? It was around here. So this is Friday. Thursday, 6 p.m. Friday. Tries to pull it out. Either way, it's not looking great. So that's pretty much your weather update. Hopefully you got a chance to enjoy the sun today because depending on what model you're looking at, tomorrow doesn't look all that great, especially if you're on Long Island. New Jersey, you might have a little more luck at seeing the sun. So that's going to be it for this weather update. Let's hope this storm doesn't stall and moves the hell out. I mean, if it would just stall like a little further over here instead of over here, then we'd have clear weather. But, you know the way it's been this whole year, so it's hard to get the sun. So that's it. Take care. Thank you for watching.